So in my last tutorial about making a scrollable text window, one important thing I did forget to go over was how we enforced our camera boundaries on this event down here, where the Boolean value of scene variable display text is true and the text display, this gray box, is shorter than the text box right here. So I completely forgot, but actually this did need a little bit of notation on it. So how we're going to enforce the camera boundaries, and this is what prevents the player from being able to scroll up past the first message or scroll down past the last message, is how we do it. Our left camera boundary, let's open this up, is going to be set to the text display bounding box left. And our right bound position, this is our top left bound position. That's our left X. And this is our right X. And that will be the text display bounding box right. So what that is this is how wide of a view we have. This whole width. Now we're not setting that to the text display, because if you have shorter messages like this, they're going to be shorter. And it will appear to be centering the text, which actually could be what you want. So if you want that, go ahead and ignore what I said and set it to the text display bounding box. The little text box you have. Set it to that bounding box left and set it to that bounding box right. Because then when you opened that window, instead of being flush right here, the messages would appear centered based on how wide that box was. So if that is the look you're going for, that would be what you want to do. Now for this, I wanted them flush with the left side of this gray box. So that is why for the width of my camera boundaries, which will be your left and your right here. Let's open this up again. Your left bound X position and your right bound X position. We're setting that to the left and the right of that gray box we have, which, remember, takes up the entire scene window. So this is the camera boundary on that side, and this is the camera boundary on that side. Okay? So now the other one we would deal with is the top and the bottom camera. Now where do we want that? So the top bound Y position and the bottom bound Y position. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to set the top bound Y position to our text box, bounding box top. And we're going to set the bottom of that bound Y position to the text box, bounding box bottom. And what that's going to do is we're going to say the very maximum the player can ever scroll up will be to the top of this text box. So that's why when there's no text, let me just show you. That's why let me make some text here. That's why when the player scrolls down, it will not let me scroll past that. It's because this topmost bounding box of the text box is the camera Y bound boundary position. And the very bottom of this text box, the last message, is the bottom of the camera boundary. So for the sides of the camera boundary, I'm using the gray box bounding left and bounding right. And for the top and bottom, we're using the text box here. The bounding box top and the bounding box bottom are the camera boundaries. So that's just how I had the camera boundaries set up. And I can't believe I actually forgot to mention that, because that is a little important, especially if you don't use camera boundaries a lot. It might be confusing how to set them up. I know when I first started trying them, I got some crazy results. But anyway, once again, I hope this gave you some ideas on how to make different menus for your own game. And that's it.